Imagine this: the world's most powerful nation, locked in a nearly 20-year war with a small Southeast Asian country, costing millions of lives. Was this conflict a noble crusade to safeguard the free world, or an unjust invasion that trampled a nation's sovereignty? Today, we plunge into one of the longest and most contentious wars in American history, the unending debate over the true meaning of the Vietnam War. Was it fought to contain communism, or was it an act of American aggression? In the mid-1950s, the world was gripped by the immense ideological struggle of the Cold War. Against the communist blocs of the Soviet Union and China, the United States positioned itself as the defender of the free world. Vietnam, newly independent from French colonial rule, was divided into a communist North and an anti-communist South. Why did the U.S., thousands of miles away, begin to deeply involve itself in this small nation's internal conflict? Those who argue the Vietnam War was an unavoidable intervention to contain communism champion the domino theory. Their belief was that if Vietnam fell to communism, then Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and indeed all of Southeast Asia, would topple like dominoes. Thus, American intervention was framed as an epic struggle to protect Southeast Asia from communist expansion and to uphold freedom and democracy. They genuinely believed that supporting the South Vietnamese government against communist aggression was essential for U.S. national security and global peace. Furthermore, countless American soldiers answered their nation's call, enduring immense sacrifices for what they believed was a noble cause for freedom. They fought for a principle they held dear, dedicating everything to their country. The commitment and sacrifice of Vietnam War. Veterans are considered values that can never be diminished. However, a strong chorus of voices condemns the Vietnam War as unjust American aggression. They argue that the Vietnam War was fundamentally a struggle by the Vietnamese people for independence from French colonial rule and for national unification. They contend that the U.S., as an external power, unnecessarily prolonged the conflict by intervening in this internal affair, infringing upon Vietnam's sovereignty and right to self-determination. Can the brutal actions carried out by American forces, widespread civilian massacres, the indiscriminate use of Agent Orange, carpet bombing, ever be justified under the guise of defending freedom? Critics suggest that American involvement was driven less by the actual aspirations of the Vietnamese people, and more by the ideological fervor of the Cold War. They argue that the Vietnam War caused immense social division within the U.S. itself, leading to tens of thousands of American casualties, and ultimately leaving America with nothing but a bitter defeat and deep national scars. How do you explain why the world's superpower could not overcome the nationalism of a small nation? So, how should we truly understand the Vietnam War? It stands as both a victim of the colossal ideological clash of the Cold War, and an event that poses fundamental questions about the ethics of national intervention. While it was undeniably part of America's containment of communism policy, from the Vietnamese perspective, it can be seen as an invasion. Can the history of victor and vanquished truly differ so profoundly? Or the truth of aggressor and victim? How do you evaluate the Vietnam War? Do you believe it was an unavoidable necessity to protect Southeast Asia from communism, or an unjust act of aggression that trampled the sovereignty of the Vietnamese people? Or perhaps, do you view it as a tragedy of the complex Cold War era, leaving behind profound lessons for humanity to reflect upon? Share your fierce opinions and supporting evidence in the comments below. There's no single, universally accepted answer to this profound question, but through your vibrant discussion, we can all gain a deeper understanding of history and unlock invaluable insights. Historical mysteries ignite our imagination and offer profound insights into understanding the present through the past. Next time, can you believe it, we'll return with more astonishing historical truths and debates to satisfy your intellectual curiosity. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Thank you.